If you'd met us 6 months ago, you'd have thought we were perfect. Everyone did. We were that couple people posted heart emojis under on Instagram. Same smiles, same vacations, same couple goals. His name's Ethan. We met 4 years ago at a friend's rooftop party. He spilled his drink on me, panicked, and offered me his jacket even though it was freezing. I laughed it off. He followed up with coffee the next day. By the third date, I thought he was different, careful, thoughtful. The type who noticed when I changed my nail color. We built everything together. The apartment, the cat, the plans. We even had a shared calendar called Our Future. That's why when he said his company was sending him to a 3-day conference in another city, I barely blinked. He was ambitious. I loved that about him, but I should have noticed the new cologne. The late night showers, the way he suddenly set his phone face down. Still, love makes you blind until it doesn't. It started on a random Thursday. He'd left his laptop open while he went to grab groceries. Nothing unusual until his Slack pinged. A message preview popped up. Can't wait for tonight, A. I stared at it. A. He worked with 2 people whose names started with A. Alex and Andrea. I told myself it was work-related, maybe dinner with clients. But then another message slid in. Bring the red tie. You know what it does to me. My heartbeat went from calm to chaos in a second. I clicked the chat. Dozens of messages, flirting, inside jokes, photos I wish I could unsee. It wasn't Alex. It was Andrea, his coworker, married, with a husband who'd left a comment on one of Ethan's posts just last week. Thanks for looking after my wife on those late nights. My hands shook so hard, I nearly dropped the laptop. That's when Ethan walked back in, smiling. Hey babe. They didn't have almond milk, so I got. He froze when he saw my face. Who's Andrea? I asked. His eyes darted toward the laptop. Wait, no, it's not what. Then tell me what it is, I snapped. He stammered something about inside jokes and work stress, but the air in the room had changed. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just said, get out. He left. The first night alone felt like free falling. Every notification sound made my stomach drop. Every song on shuffle seemed designed to torture me. At 3 a.m., I sat on the floor with my cat, scrolling through their messages again. The miss you already. The last night was perfect. It wasn't just cheating. It was a double life. By morning, something inside me snapped, not into sadness, but into clarity. If he wanted lies, I'd give him a stage big enough to choke on them. Ethan tried texting the next day. Can we talk? It was a mistake. Please don't ruin us. I ignored him until I realized I could use him. He'd been planning a huge engagement party for us. Both families, friends, colleagues, over 100 people. Deposits were already paid. Invitations sent. Perfect. I texted back. Let's talk in person. I want to understand. We met at a cafe near his office. He looked awful. Dark circles. Jittery hands. I played gentle. I need time, I told him. But let's not cancel the engagement party yet. I think we can fix this. He almost cried with relief. You're serious? I nodded. Totally. But no one can know we fought. Promise? He promised. Hook, line, and liar. For the next 2 weeks, I acted like the picture of forgiveness. We went out to brunch. We posted smiling photos. Everyone commented how happy and in love we looked. Meanwhile, I was building something behind the scenes. I printed every text, every photo, every timestamp. I reached out to Andrea's husband, Leo. At first, he didn't believe me until I forwarded screenshots that had his wife's hotel receipts attached. He called me within minutes. His voice shook. Not from disbelief, but from anger that sounded eerily calm. We'll deal with this together, he said. That's when the plan became real. The engagement party was at a rented hall, white lights, gold decor, the whole romantic fantasy. Ethan's family arrived early, gushing about how lucky he was. I smiled, playing the gracious host. Andrea showed up late, in a red dress that screamed, look at me. Her husband Leo walked beside her, face unreadable. Ethan lit up when he saw her, then quickly masked it. But I caught it, that tiny flicker of connection. When everyone settled, Ethan's best friend tapped a glass. To the happy couple, laughter, cheers, phones out for photos. Then Ethan stood to give his speech. He started soft. I've made mistakes in my life, but none compared to how lucky I am to have found you, Mia. People awed. I forced a smile. He kept talking about trust, love, and forever. Each word tasted like poison. When he finished, it was my turn. I took the mic with shaking hands. Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight, I began. You've all seen us grow together, but tonight, I want to talk about honesty. because relationships should be built on it. Ethan looked nervous. Babe, I held up a folder. This, I said, is a collection of messages between my fiancé and his coworker. They've been seeing each other for months. While planning this party, they were also planning weekends in hotels. The crowd gasped. Andrea went pale. Ethan's mother covered her mouth. I stepped aside and gestured toward the projector I'd rented for a slideshow. But it wasn't a slideshow of our memories. It was screenshots, time-stamped, and undeniable. Gasps turned to murmurs. Murmurs to chaos. Ethan lunged for the laptop. Mia, stop. You're humiliating us. I looked him dead in the eyes. No, Ethan. You did that all by yourself. Andrea's husband stood then, calmly. Since we're sharing truths, he said, I'd like to thank Mia for showing me what my wife's been up to. Consider our marriage over. He dropped his wedding ring into Andrea's half-finished champagne glass. The clink echoed. People started leaving. Ethan tried to grab my arm. You ruined everything. I yanked free. No, I just exposed it. Then I turned to the crowd, smiled weakly, and said, drinks are still paid for. Enjoy the night. By the time I got home, my phone was exploding. Texts from friends, coworkers, even strangers who'd seen the footage. Someone had filmed everything. It went viral in our social circle within hours. Part of me wanted to crawl under the bed and hide. The other part felt peaceful. For the first time in months, I slept through the night. But peace never lasts long when humiliation's involved. 2 days later, Ethan came back, and this time, he wasn't apologizing. 2 days after the party, my apartment door rattled with angry knocking. I knew that rhythm, rapid fast, 3 taps, pause, then 2 more. Ethan. I let him knock until the sound lost its rhythm, then opened the door just enough for him to see I wasn't afraid. He looked wrecked, eyes blood red, hair unwashed, still wearing the same suit jacket. You destroyed my life, he hissed. No, I said evenly. You just watched it collapse in public. He tried to push past me. I stepped aside, arms crossed. What do you want, Ethan? He stared at me, chest heaving. You could have ended it privately, but you wanted a show. I almost laughed. You cheated on me in secret. I told the truth in public. Seems balanced. He pointed a trembling finger. You don't understand. I lost my job. Andrea won't even answer me. My family won't speak to me. You gave everyone what they deserve to know. I finished. He dropped onto my couch like a broken marionette. For a moment, I saw the man I'd once loved, the careful listener, the man who'd planned breakfasts and future cities. But the illusion cracked as soon as he spoke again. You'll regret this, he muttered. You think you look like the hero, but you're just crazy. That word, crazy, burned deeper than any insult. I straightened, walked to the door, and held it open. Get out, Ethan, before I start believing you still matter. He left, slamming the door so hard a picture frame fell. The cat darted under the bed. I sat down, shaking. I wasn't scared, just exhausted. But something told me this wasn't over. Over the next week, rumors spread like wildfire. Ethan started spinning a new version of the story. I'd hacked his accounts, fabricated screenshots, and ruined innocent lives. His friends split into sides. Some texted me support, others ghosted. My phone felt like a grenade I didn't want to touch. Then, one evening, a mutual friend named Kara sent me a screenshot. Ethan had posted a long apology on social media, but instead of apologizing, he painted himself as the victim of a vindictive ex-fiancé. It ended with, I'll take responsibility for minor mistakes, but public humiliation isn't justice. It's cruelty disguised as empowerment. Comments were divided. Half called him out, half called me a manipulator. I stared at that post until my vision blurred. I could have ignored it. Instead, I decided to end the noise once and for all. I didn't want revenge anymore, I wanted closure. But closure sometimes needs witnesses. Ethan's company, the one that had sent him on business trips with Andrea, still hadn't learned why those trips looked suspicious in their expense logs. So I compiled every receipt, chat log, and hotel invoice again, this time with a tidy summary letter attached. Then I sent copies to HR and their finance department. Within a week, both Ethan and Andrea were under investigation for inappropriate conduct and misuse of company funds. They were suspended pending inquiry. He tried to rebuild his reputation publicly, and I just handed his employer the wreckage. 2 weeks later, my doorbell rang again. But it wasn't Ethan. It was Andrea. She looked nothing like the confident woman in red from the party. Her makeup was gone, her hair tied back, eyes swollen from crying. Mia, can I talk to you? She whispered. I should have slammed the door. Instead, curiosity won. 5 minutes, I said. She sat, clutching a tissue. You destroyed my life. I sighed. You destroyed mine first. She wiped her face. Ethan said it was over between you two before it started. He told me you were toxic. I almost laughed. And you believed him because it was convenient. Andrea bit her lip. I know. I wanted to believe it. My marriage was already falling apart. Ethan just made me feel seen. Her voice cracked on scene. For a moment, we were just two women who'd been lied to by the same man in different ways. She looked up. I lost everything. My husband's gone. The company's done with me. I just came to say I'm sorry. I nodded slowly. Good. Now go rebuild what's left of your life. Honestly this time. She stood, shaky but lighter. As she reached the door, she turned. You're stronger than I thought. I had to be, I said. When the door closed, the apartment felt heavier and lighter at the same time. Weeks passed. Life slowly stitched itself together. Then one afternoon, while I was at a small cafe sketching, something I'd started doing to quiet my mind, a stranger approached my table. You're Mia, right? He was mid-30s, crisp shirt, polite smile. Yes. I'm Leo, he said. Andrea's ex-husband. The world tilted for a second. I hadn't seen him since the party explosion. He sat down when I gestured. I wanted to thank you, he said. You saved me from wasting years pretending everything was fine. I didn't know what to say. He smiled faintly. Funny thing, after the divorce, I focused on myself. Therapy, travel, new job. I'm actually okay. That's good, I said sincerely. He hesitated. And I heard what Ethan's been saying about you online. If you ever need someone to clear the record, I still have every receipt. Literally. I laughed for the first time in days. You and your receipts, huh? He grinned. Occupational hazard of being an accountant. We talked for an hour. No romance, no subtext. Just two survivors comparing scars. When he left, I felt something strange. Peace without revenge. A month later, I got an anonymous email. Subject line, you might want to see this. Attached was a short video Ethan, drunk, at some bar, ranting to a friend. She ruined me, man, but I'll get back. I'll sue her for defamation or something. The friend replied off camera, but you did cheat. Ethan slammed his glass down. Yeah, but nobody cares about the truth. Only who tells it first. I almost deleted it, but then I realized how poetic it was. The man who built his life on lies finally admitting that truth doesn't matter to him. Only control. I forwarded it to a journalist friend who ran a local relationship advice podcast. She blurred faces and used the audio in an episode about emotional manipulators in public narratives. It went semi-viral. Ethan became a cautionary example without anyone ever naming him. That was the perfect revenge, invisible but complete. I moved out of the apartment we'd shared. New city, new studio flat. No shared calendars, no ghosts. I started freelancing as a digital designer and picked up commissions steadily. One client even found me through the viral party clip, saying, anyone brave enough to do that has the confidence I want in my brand. Funny how pain translates into credibility sometimes. Ethan tried to reach out again, this time through his sister, who sent a message saying, he's in therapy. He wants closure. I sent back, tell him closure doesn't need a conversation. She never replied. By the anniversary of the party, I'd stopped checking social media entirely. Then one night, Kara sent me a link. Ethan had posted a long message, not self-pitying this time, but reflective. I spent a year blaming everyone but myself. I lost everything because I lied, not because someone exposed me. If you're reading this and you're hiding something, stop. The truth comes out anyway. For the first time, I didn't feel anger, just distance, like watching weather from behind glass. Leo and I reconnected by accident. A mutual friend tagged us in a charity event post. We started talking again, this time not about pain but plans. We never labeled anything, but one evening, sitting on a park bench after volunteering, he said, you know, sometimes the worst day of your life just sets up the best chapter. I smiled. Maybe, as long as the chapters stay honest. He took my hand. Deal. When I look back, I realized revenge wasn't what healed me. It was truth, raw, messy, undeniable truth. Everyone fears humiliation, but exposure doesn't destroy character. It reveals it. Ethan's story ended when his mask fell. Mine started when I stopped hiding. Sometimes karma isn't a lightning strike. Sometimes it's a microphone, a projector, a folder of receipts, and the courage to press play. So if anyone listening feels invisible, betrayed, or small, remember this. You don't have to scream to get justice. You just have to stop whispering your pain, because the truth, it speaks loud enough on its own.